Hi, today I'm going to be talking about student migration and educational struggles. My name is Nydia Fernandez. My family migrated to the U.S. in search of a better education for their children. I'm a first generation U.S. college graduate, and I'm currently working on my master's degree in school counseling at Angelo State University. Because I have experienced the effects of migration and education firsthand, I've chosen to be at the front lines of education and make a difference in my border community of Del Rio as an educator. My topic research includes studies in cultural and social outcomes of privilege in education. I serve on city and community boards to advocate and make available equal opportunities to all areas of town, especially the low-income, Spanish-speaking neighborhoods. As a future counselor, my goal is to promote and dedicate time for school-wide cultural awareness of all groups to make inclusion and transitions easy for all involved and to make this a win-win situation for everyone. Migration is taking place at a fast rate. We see it in the news and experience it in our communities nationwide. This has impacted our educational system. We will take an in-depth look at the factors affecting learning for migrant students in education. Struggles and challenges faced by immigrant students will be presented and discussed, along with possible ways that the educational system and its educators can help students cope in their new setting. In this session that you're attending, my goal is for you to learn 5 things. 1. Define immigration and recognize the high trend and its impact on the education system. 2. Identify immigrant children and make correct placement in the classroom setting. 3. Evaluate and identify students that are struggling in school due to cultural confusion. 4. Increase awareness of our own biases and privileges to help immigrants and advocate for them. And 5, to identify psychological effects of immigrant students in their new classroom environment. Migrant numbers. Migration numbers are reaching an all-time high. Immigrant families struggle to interact socially in unfamiliar territories in a different land with different cultural backgrounds. We see them in our communities, schools, playgrounds, gyms, places of worship, etc. They are looked at in a different way. They're stereotyped and are judged. The education, social interaction, and mental health of the child are major areas of concern. Schools must be able to provide students a proper foundation to balance the new setting of the immigrant child and their cultural background to help close the achievement and cultural gap. A great start is to establish guidance curriculums on topics to fit the needs of the entire school population, to conduct school surveys, and to outline detailed school and counselor action plans. The Keno Border Initiative produced in an article in Keno Border Initiative, which was published in 2018, the following quote was, in a Keno Border Initiative article on education published in 2018, the following was stated, lack of access to quality education is a root cause of poverty and economic hardship. In a Keno Border Initiative article on education that was published in 2018, the following was stated, lack of access to quality education is a root cause of poverty and economic hardship, which in turn drive people to choose migration as a means of seeking job opportunities and improving their lives. The correlation between migration and the impact it has on the education of children and families that seek new opportunities for a better life will be reviewed. These new experiences in a new setting, with a new language, new customs, and in general unfamiliarity put pressure and stress on the parents as well as the student. Immigrants come to seek economic and educational opportunities, and sometimes end up with the same struggles in just a different place because they cannot adjust. Economic vitality and better educational accessibility come with a price. Students are faced with language barriers, they lack social acceptance, and are in a new world where cultural differences exist. Their lack of communication impedes them from making friends. Students are unable to process the language quickly enough in the classrooms to be successful. Teachers have timelines to meet, and most times overlook the language barrier, and the students slip away. Most of the students that are immigrants lack self-drive to be successful, especially when their families are not supporting them or encouraging them, due to them trying to make ends meet at home. Sometimes the frustration of the parents becomes so huge that they end up putting the males to work as soon as they qualify to do work, and these male students become dropouts. The effects of the cycle can be long-term. Differences in learning cultures are an issue in student migration. This means that the students can have difficulty if the teaching, learning, and assessment methods are very different from those in their previous education, as stated in an article in Kino Border Initiative published in 2018. If they are not familiar with the new ways, students can shut down. They can have emotional effects like shutting down and having low self-esteem. Some become discipline cases at school, and others get in a pattern of failing, or both. They become at risk, and sometimes it is too late to get out of that cycle. There are potential solutions where we as educators can help. Through observation and a little extra effort, counselors and teachers can work together and advocate for immigrant students and help them succeed. Interventions can be put in place. School-wide cultural programs and teaching designs can be established to help all students feel included. The use of prior knowledge is a foundation that can be used to establish student engagement, and relevancy to them can be addressed to help students participate. Empathy for all and by all should be practiced. All of this takes a collaborative effort, and with guidance by the counselor and their team, success can come about it. According to a study by Zhuang conducted in 2020, by boosting school belonging, we can promote equality in educational outcomes. This can be achieved, for example, through introducing school policies that explicitly value cultural diversity rather than expressing colorblind attitudes. All pupils need exposure to specialized knowledge about issues such as migration, which, along with their context-bound everyday knowledge, will allow for a deeper understanding and effective handling of these issues. This was also stated in another study in 2021. The U.S. is known for its wide range of diverse populations. Our education system should oversee that our immigration population of students doesn't fall through the cracks. Counselors, teachers, and all stakeholders need to advocate, educate, and help our immigrant students fit in and succeed. I'd like to thank you for attending my presentation. Let's build a better future by educating together. In the Kino Border Initiative article published in 2018, the following was stated. Lack of access to quality education is a root cause of poverty and economic hardship, which in turn drive people to choose migration as a means of seeking job opportunities and improving their lives. Now, the correlation between migration and the impact it has on education of the children and families that seek new opportunities for a better life will be reviewed. These new experiences in a new setting with a new language, new customs, and in general unfamiliarity put pressure and stress on the parents as well as the student. Immigrants come to seek economic and educational opportunities, and sometimes end up with the same struggles in just a different place because they cannot adjust.